China now builds more naval tonnage every year than America has built in decades. That sounds unbelievable, but the numbers tell a brutal story. The United States Navy still operates the world's strongest fleet. It has 11 nuclear aircraft carriers. China has only 3. But Beijing cares about a different number: shipbuilding speed. China's shipyards now launch destroyers faster than many countries launch patrol boats. One Chinese shipyard reportedly produces more commercial tonnage annually than all American shipyards combined. And this matters because wars at sea are not won only by technology. They are won by production, by repair capacity, by industrial endurance. America spent decades assuming nobody could challenge its naval dominance. China spent those same decades preparing to challenge it anyway. Now, the Pentagon faces an uncomfortable reality. China's Navy already outnumbers America's fleet in total ships. And Beijing still expands at astonishing speed. The scary part is not just the size of China's Navy. It is where that Navy operates, near Taiwan, near vital trade routes, near American allies. And if current trends continue, the balance of power in Asia could change faster than Washington expected. Because this is no longer a future problem. It is happening right now. For most of modern history, the United States dominated the oceans. After the Cold War, America had no serious naval rival. The Soviet Union collapsed. China still operated outdated Soviet-style ships. In 1996, during the Taiwan Strait crisis, America sent 2 carrier groups near Taiwan. China could do almost nothing in response. That moment changed Beijing's strategy forever. Chinese leaders realized one thing clearly: if America controlled nearby seas, China would always remain strategically vulnerable. So Beijing launched a long-term naval buildup. Not just warships, entire shipbuilding ecosystems, steel production, ports, supply chains, and missile systems. China focused first on regional dominance: the South China Sea, the East China Sea, and the waters surrounding Taiwan. And unlike America, China did not fight expensive overseas wars during those decades. It invested heavily at home instead. Today, China's Navy, officially called the People's Liberation Army Navy, operates over 370 battle force ships. America operates fewer than 300. The United States still holds major advantages in submarines, carrier aviation, and combat experience. But Beijing closes the gap faster than many analysts predicted. And that changes the strategic equation across the Pacific. America still builds advanced warships, but China builds them at industrial scale. That difference matters enormously. Naval warfare destroys equipment quickly. The side replacing ships faster gains a huge advantage. China understands this perfectly. Chinese shipyards work around the clock. Some yards build commercial and military vessels simultaneously. That creates massive flexibility during crises. Meanwhile, American shipbuilding struggles with delays and rising costs. The new Constellation-class frigate program faces major schedule problems. Submarine production also lags behind Pentagon targets. China exploits this gap aggressively. Take the Type 055 destroyer. It displaces around 13,000 tons. That makes it larger than many Cold War cruisers. China launched 8 of them rapidly. America would struggle to match that pace today. Then there are aircraft carriers. China's newest carrier, the Fujian, uses electromagnetic catapults. That technology previously existed only on America's USS Gerald R. Ford. This signals something important. China no longer relies only on copied technology. It increasingly develops advanced systems independently. But Beijing's naval growth serves a larger strategic goal. And that goal revolves around Taiwan. Taiwan matters politically, but geography makes it even more important. The island sits inside the first island chain. That chain stretches from Japan to the Philippines. Think of it as a natural barrier limiting Chinese naval movement into the Pacific. Right now, American allies help maintain that barrier. But if China controlled Taiwan, the map changes dramatically. Chinese submarines could access deeper Pacific waters more easily. Chinese aircraft could project power farther east. American forces would face greater pressure everywhere nearby. That explains China's military behavior around Taiwan today. Chinese warships now patrol around the island constantly. Military aircraft cross previous boundaries almost daily. Large-scale exercises simulate blockades regularly. Beijing may not need immediate invasion. Instead, China could pressure Taiwan gradually over time, economically, psychologically, and militarily. The growing Navy strengthens all three forms of pressure. And Beijing wants America to understand one message clearly. Intervening near Taiwan would become increasingly dangerous. But China's ambitions now stretch far beyond Taiwan alone. And that creates a global challenge for Washington. For years, China described its military as defensive only. That claim now looks outdated. Chinese naval deployments increasingly appear worldwide. Chinese warships patrol near Africa, the Middle East, and the Indian Ocean regularly. Beijing also opened its first overseas military base in Djibouti in 2017. That base sits near critical global shipping routes. This matters because naval power protects economic influence. For decades, America secured global trade lanes almost alone. That role gave Washington enormous geopolitical leverage. China now wants part of that leverage, and Beijing connects commercial expansion directly with military access. Chinese firms built or financed ports across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Some analysts fear certain ports could support future naval operations. Meanwhile, America faces a structural disadvantage. The U.S. Navy must operate globally. China concentrates heavily near its own coastline. That gives Beijing local numerical superiority in a regional conflict. China also combines naval power with missiles, drones, satellites, and cyber capabilities. Military planners call this anti-access. In simple terms, China wants nearby waters too dangerous for American forces to enter safely. And every new destroyer, submarine, and missile battery strengthens that strategy, which raises the biggest question of all. Can America still maintain naval dominance in Asia long term? First, Asia's arms race will intensify rapidly. Japan already plans major defense spending increases. Australia expands submarine cooperation with America and Britain. The Philippines now grants wider military access to U.S. forces. Second, Taiwan becomes even more dangerous as a flashpoint. A future crisis could involve advanced missiles, submarines, drones, and carrier groups simultaneously. Third, global trade becomes more vulnerable. Over $3 trillion in annual trade passes through the South China Sea. Any naval conflict there could disrupt energy supplies and technology markets worldwide. Finally, America faces an industrial challenge as much as a military one. This competition may depend less on individual weapons and more on factories, shipyards, and production capacity. For decades, America ruled the seas almost uncontested. China spent 20 years preparing to change that reality. The next global balance of power may depend on who builds faster, adapts quicker, and sustains longer. And that competition has already begun.